I do think that we ought to get back to some reality after the withdrawal bill to talk about housing and what that means and the threat of homelessness to far too many of our people. A lady with 2 young children in a 1-bedroom flat in the private sector, currently totally unsuitable accommodation in a poor state of repair, but every time she bids, she fails, and she's somewhere in the region of 300th on the list. That shows the scale of the problem in an area like Stroud. We've still got a waiting list of 2,275 people, which is estimated to be somewhere of the region of 51.4% of the shortfall of social housing. But the situation, of course, is made worse by the fact that at the moment, every unit of council accommodation under right to buy that is sold, 70% of that money goes back to the government. So here we are, we've bought the stock, we're trying to do our bit, we're faced by a borrowing cap, which we think is totally imposed without any rationale about the value of the asset that we have, and then when we have units sold, we see the government still reaping the benefit from our accommodation. I would ask the Minister to consider that, to look at, if we are going to be part of the solution, how is that an incentive? How is that fair? How is that in any way reasonable? The leader of Stroud District Council, Councillor Steve Lydon, a good friend of mine, came to see the Shadow Housing Minister and has written to the Prime Minister to ask for help with this particular problem. We're very pleased now that we're a pilot area for the retention of business rates, but this is a different matter. It's about the housing revenue account, about allowing us the freedom to go on and to be able to do what the government wants local authorities to do, which is to provide the answer to the immediate problems in this area. It is about having the vision to look back, to look forward. The last time we genuinely met targets was, of course, the 1950s, when that well-known socialist Harold Macmillan was able to prove that public authority housing was the best way to deal with the housing crisis. He was convinced of that, and I'm convinced that we can play our part. But to add to the frustration, we have something of the order of 5,800 of units of accommodation given planning permission, but no ability to bring forward the development of those sites. And I know that there is support across the political spectrum, the Local Government Association, the District Council Network, both of which are Conservative-led, are adamant that local authorities can be part of the solution. So it is vital that we recognise that we are given the tools and the barriers and the hurdles are removed from us. Because otherwise, dare I say, the government will never reach its 300,000 target, a steep climb as it is from where it is at the moment, which is roughly just over half of those number of units per year. So we have all to do our part.